on, guys. Who would have thought that after 3 games, Kylian Mbappe would not have scored a single goal? Surely this is the time for him to score a freaking goal, if not at least get an assist. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pregame. Today we got another pregame analysis and betting tips. This midweek we got Real Madrid facing up against Las Palmas. Las Palmas is going to be at home this time around. La Liga is keeping us pretty busy with all these midweek games. I mean, it's only been a week and a half already into match day 3, so things are cooking up pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and jump into the analysis, but first make sure you like the video, turn on your notification bell. We recently uploaded the Barcelona reactions with Ricky to their game yesterday that Dani Olmo scored the his debut goal, so make sure you go check that out. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, guys, so once again, we're going to be playing away. Real Madrid is going to be trying to make some changes into the lineup. Ancelotti is potentially hinting at Carvajal getting a little bit of rest, which means Lucas Vázquez comes in as a right back. I expect Courtois to be back in goal. Militao, Rudiger, which, by the way, Militao's having a phenomenal return back to playing after that long ACL injury. And then at left back, we should have the return of Ferland Mendy, now that he's coming back after serving that 1-game suspension after getting that red card against Muriqui in the first game of La Liga. Center mid, I expect to see Valverde, who is also having a cracker of a start of season. 2 goals in 3 games alongside Tchouaméni. But center attacking mid, I'm hoping to see a little more of Arda Güler. However, maybe Ancelotti opts to go for Modric as a starter this time around, being that he already gave Arda Güler the starting position in the second game this past weekend. I still want to keep seeing Arda Güler, so let me know what you think down in the comments. And up top, potentially we might be seeing Rodrygo getting a little bit of rest with Brahim Diaz coming in for him, which personally, after seeing Brahim Diaz last game and the few minutes that he's gotten this season, I want to see more of him. You know, we need to make sure that Rodrygo, I mean, Vini and Mbappe too, right? But Rodrygo needs to know that Brahim Diaz is right behind him, trying to get that starting position, so that way Rodrygo doesn't fall asleep mid-season like he often does. So if I was Ancelotti, I'd give Brahim that starting position. He came in this past weekend and scored a goal, got an assist right off the bat. So I want to see a little more of him. And then up top, Mbappe with Vini on the left-hand side. Once again, it's been a big discussion in the comment box after the reaction from this past weekend's game. A lot of us have been talking about, including you guys, have been talking about Vini and Mbappe needing maybe a little bit more chemistry. Vini has had an interview this week saying how he's excited, obviously not just for this year, but for the decade to come for Real Madrid, who they might have probably one of the best teams of the decade for these upcoming years. And so the most important thing is for him and Mbappe to learn how to work together and to keep playing hard. So, I mean, Vini was absolutely right, and I agree with him. It's not going to be perfect from the beginning, but I definitely want to start to see some improvement between them two up top. And so they're facing up against a Las Palmas team that is maybe not having the greatest of starts. However, in that first game of La Liga for them, they did manage to tie Sevilla 2-2, which makes it an interesting result. However, Sevilla is lately not really been the true Sevilla that we know and maybe not love. They've been a lot weaker. They've been going through big changes at the club. So to me, that result isn't the most maybe surprising. It's it's good nonetheless, but it's nothing shocking as if they would have had that result a couple of years ago when Sevilla was winning all the Europa Leagues. So I'm not too worried about that. And then this past weekend, Las Palmas faced up against Leganés and actually lost that game 2-1. Leganés was playing at home, and yes, they are a recently promoted team, but still, I think Las Palmas could have done maybe a little bit better. I watched those highlights, and they didn't really they struggled to create many chances. So I'm feeling good about Real Madrid's chances, especially after Barcelona's win. It is very, very, very important that Real Madrid pick up all 3 points. We're already behind in the table. We cannot afford to lose, to drop any more points. So Real Madrid has to go out there firing with all cylinders. So it'll be a bit of an interesting one. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was Ceballos. He hasn't really gotten much playing time, and today the news came out that potentially he might be leaving the club. He received an offer from Betis, who wants him back, but also a non-Spanish team that apparently, I mean, could be a Saudi Arabia offer, you never know. But apparently he's very much tempted by it, so we could be losing Ceballos. But after that news came out, the rumor that Real Madrid could be going back into the market to look for a potential midfielder to bring in if Ceballos does leave, be it that Nico Paz and Mario Martin have already left the club. So Madrid would be a little bit weakened in that center mid position. That doesn't really involve this pregame, but let's go ahead and jump into the betting tips. So when we look at the money line, Las Palmas is priced at a positive 785. I mean, that is pretty damn high. Once again, just like I've said in the previous pregame analyses, you know, I'd be very shocked if Las Palmas got a victory out of this game. Is it ever impossible? No, you can't ever rule it out. But it's definitely not something that I'd be betting on for this one. The draw is at a positive 445. I mean, that's a pretty good return. Real Madrid is playing away, and with the recent offensive struggles, maybe if Las Palmas goes out there and puts a very good defensive block and they stay focused, who knows? Maybe they can also stop Real Madrid from scoring too many goals, and they get Real Madrid on a counterattack, score one goal, ends up as a 1-1 draw. Is it too crazy? Maybe not. I need to see a little more from Real Madrid up top. But nonetheless, it's not something that I would be putting my money on just yet. And then I look at Real Madrid's current money line, and that is at a negative 285. You know, it's much better than the negative 600 that we saw them having this past weekend. Negative 600 is definitely something you cannot bet on. Negative 285, still pretty bad return in my opinion. But if we go and parlay that with a couple other things, we might get a good return. Real Madrid would need to win by 2 goals in order for the spread to hit. So that is something to keep in mind. Once again, very doable for Real Madrid, but in my opinion, it's also a bit of a coin flip. You never know when Madrid could be winning 2-0 and then Las Palmas scores 1 because Real Madrid loses focus. You never know. So it's a little bit dangerous to kind of bet on those kind of things. When we look at the goals, there has to be, it's an over under 3 right now. And that is priced at about a 1-to-1 return. And so Real Madrid would need to either score 4 or more goals for that to hit if you're going to go for the over. And then the under is 2 or less goals. If you put it right, if there's 3 goals in the game, then that means that you just get your money back. So with Real Madrid's recent offensive, lack of powers, I am more hesitant to want to go for these goal bets. So I'm going to stay away from it. And then if you look at Real Madrid individually, over 2.5, they would also have to score 3 goals individually. So definitely not something that I'm really going to be betting on. This is what I'm going to be betting on after going over that explanation. And that is the Real Madrid win parlayed with an over 1.5 goals. So meaning 2 goals in that game, as long as Real Madrid scores 2 goals, or 2-1 Real Madrid, 3-1, you call it. Anything 2+ goals is good. And on top of that, I'm going to put in Kylian Mbappe goal or assist. I'm going to give him the assist option too, in case he decides to not wake up and not score a goal again. But I mean, come on guys. Who would have thought that after 3 games, Kylian Mbappe would not have scored a single goal? Surely this is the time for him to score a freaking goal, if not at least get an assist. So you can't tell me that Real Madrid winning, there being 2 or more goals, and then Mbappe getting either a goal or an assist is not a bad bet. We'll see. We'll find out. We're going to put a little something in there. I want to hear what you guys think about all those things that I talked about. What is your score prediction? Let me know down in the comments. Yet again, make sure you hit the like button. Turn on your notification bells. I want you to guys know the moment a video drops. That is very, very, very important so you stay up to date with all the new videos. And yeah, guys, so I look forward to seeing you all for that live reaction, but also keep in mind that the Champions League draw is tomorrow, so we'll also be maybe talking a little bit more about that. All right, that's all I got for you today, and as always, a la Madrid.